He made us in such a way
so that we can reproduce and feel the world.
Survival. It's an instinct. Sex is instinct. It's the same as eating, right?
But when you say it's done privately, it also brings in the chapter of not speaking about it publicly.
I agree. And some people would even tell me, not only privately, but we have to switch off the lights. He or she wants to have sex. It's natural, it's physiological, it's expected. That's how God created us, right? I don't know if in Kinyarwanda they have the same meaning. When you talk about private part or sex or whatever, you are talking about what you say is ibishego.
Ibishego, actually, that's
right?
what they call it, yes.
And it's shameful.
It's shameful, yes. It's like shameful.
Exactly. You don't know how many kids in this town, because we're in Kigali, that do have abortions behind your back.
Hello there. Thank you so much for once again joining us on the podcast, the Voices Podcast. Today, we have a very good topic. Today, we are talking about reclaiming women's sexual health. From silence to empowerment in the modern era. Today, to discuss that urgent topic, I am joined by Dr. Mukundwa Aline. Mukundwa Aline is, an expert in gynecology and obstetrics. Yes. And she is a consultant, an international consultant in those fields. And she's a famous gynecologist in Rwanda, and she's spoken about women's health, maternal health for so many times. So today she joins us to unpack that topic of, moving from silence to empowerment, in the women's health, especially the sexual health. So, Doctor, thank you so much. We know it's not really easy to find time for a podcast like this one with a lot of work you do, but I believe it all comes with your intention to educate and inform the public about these serious and critical topics. So, for me, from a personal understanding or from a personal level, I was profoundly really inspired by, your insights on virginity myths and the burden, the disproportionate burden places on young women. Right. So it really caught my attention, and I was like, are there some myths that really are not talked about virginity? And that's where I got, the desire to have you on the show to discuss about that topic in details. To start us off, for someone really who is out there knowing that there are really some myths about virginity that most people don't talk about or don't know, but really would love to know, would love to learn, would love to understand these myths. Right. What would you tell them? What are they? Where do they trace from to becoming a burden to young girls?
Okay. Thank you, Arafat, for having me. This is a very good opportunity for me. I've been talking about girls and women and talking to them, actually, about the subject. And for me, it's something important and serious that we should not overlook. And that's why I'm very happy to be with you and to discuss this. And of course, this is not the first time the virginity issue comes out. And from a medical standpoint, a virgin girl, mind you, we don't talk about boys, right? About their virginity. It's never an issue anywhere I've been. And we were talking about burden. This is the first burden. This is the first imbalance. Every society will expect the girl to be a virgin, but will never expect a boy to be a virgin if we talk about partnership or marriage, right? So for a medical standpoint, for girls, anatomically, they will have, when they are virgin, they will have a membrane at the entrance of the vagina. And one is born with it, and this one is supposed to break with the first intercourse. I said it's supposed to because it doesn't always break with the first intercourse. And when it breaks, it's supposed to bleed. It doesn't always bleed. And it may bleed, but not in a noticeable way. That's anatomy. And the myths come from if that girl is having an intercourse and there is no blood, that means she already had sex, right? And especially in the context of marriage, this will not be seen positively because if I talk about the Rwandan society or East African society, she's expected to be a virgin before marriage. And somehow, as we were discussing before we started the show, for me, to talk about sexuality or virginity, it's reductive to only talk about it anatomically or medically if you don't put it in a context of who she is as a person. She's not only a human being, she's a being living with others with responsibilities and rights and all that. Those responsibilities and rights, her with her family and community, there are expectations. And one of the expectations is to be married while a virgin, still a virgin.
Culturally.
The other aspect is religion. Religiously, at least with the religions I know, a girl is expected to be a virgin before she gets married.
100%.
When you think about that, you wouldn't say it's bad per se, if you look at it just like that, because you have to think about where does it come from? Why? Why do people expect her to be a virgin? And when you read about it, as you say, when in the different settings where I could intervene or get to learn is they talk about preservation of the species.
Preservation of the
human being or the human species, in the sense that the role of the woman, the future mother, and the behavior of that.
You know, people think that when you get married when you're a virgin, there's a meaning they surround it with.
Right.
There's a meaning they surround it with that either you're going to be a good parent,
right,
you're going to be a good mother,
right,
you're going to be a very listening and, easy to manage wife. There's a lot they surround it with.
Right.
And when you get married when you're not a virgin, they tend to say you're already a spoiled girl, a spoiled woman. So you are never to be believed. You had to be believed, or you had to be trusted when it comes to, being honest and faithful at home. So, what difference does it have in reality when it comes to those two? Either getting married when you've already broken that trust, the family, the culture has around it, that you should get married when you're virgin and when you're not virgin.
Okay. Thank you.
How do you understand it?
I do understand it, and what I'm going to say may be controversial, but I want people to take a moment and absorb everything. When I say a human being is not only the biological body, that person is also who she or he is within a society. One aspect cannot be the only one driving or the only one meaningful. When people have sex, they release hormones. And they release hormones that do lead to attachment, right? I believe that where it comes from, that if you have been attached to A and break up the relationship, and attached to B, break up the relationship and get married to C, C is getting left of us. I mean, maybe that's where it comes from, but this is, for me, this is wrong. Yes, you've been attached, but you broke up. There was a reason that took the girl out of that relationship, and no, in my understanding, no one lives a happy relationship. So,
But the attachment remains.
I don't think so. That person, I don't think so. It happened when you were
Together.
but you broke up. There is history, but there is no attachment. You are attached to the person you are having a relationship with.
But so many people have really indicated that that history alone, at times, rebonds or brings back the bonding of the attachment.
That's true. I've heard of that.
And because the history keeps you, I mean, somehow close to each other. Somehow, I mean, you may be distant from each other, but the history, there's a way it might likely easily bring back the attachment, so the trust can easily be known 100%.
That's why I said it's very reductive to talk about sexuality looking at the single aspect, the sex aspect.
Yeah, sure.
The sex happens in a context. Yes, biological, yes, hormonal, but who is this person? Why are we meeting? Why do I love you and not the other? Why did I break up with you? And all of that. What are the conditions? What situation I'm in? What is my religion telling me? And not to run away from the question. And you will see the two of us are trying to break up the stigma, but operating within the stigma, actually. No woman has sex with herself, logically.
100%.
She's having sex with a man, with a boy, who releases as much hormones as she is releasing. And he would be also attached to that girl. So when we talk about stigma and social and myths, no one will bring up
A man.
a man.
It applies yet to both gender.
Of course, because both of them we anatomically have the sex and physiologically release the same hormones. So every one of them will be attached, if that's what you want to bring up, to the other person, the A and the B.
That is very true. That's very true. So why does the community excludes men from that circle so that they're left to be, I mean, premiums, that for them they cannot really be talked about when it comes to virginity? Because earlier when you started, you said they talk about only girls and they don't talk about men or
Who
boys.
Who runs the world?
I mean, it is seem to be men. I mean, they say men run the world.
They say, you don't believe that. I mean, you're asking questions, but
The truth is, this is a combined effort.
okay.
That is the truth, according to me. It is a combined effort. You can't run men may not really exist without women. That's 100%. That's a fact.
Yeah, it is.
So that's why, for me, I don't believe that men should be really left not to be talked about when it comes to health. I mean, when it comes to virginity. But what impact has it created? What challenges, difficulties has it created? Failure to talk about men and just insist on women.
It creates a lot of stigma, and it runs women's lives actually, and do have impact. The girl who gets married and she's not a virgin, in some context, not all men, but okay, it's fading a little bit. But she may not be accepted as trustworthy. She may not be accepted as a full woman. And don't be surprised if the boy, the day after marriage, goes to his friends and complains, and to his family and complains. And from that moment, that new wife, may not be as accepted as she should have by the in-laws, by the husband's friends. And even herself, she grows up in that society and she has the same norms embedded in her. And she may believe and feel that she was not
welcomed in the family,
or she was not worth herself, because she knows she's not a virgin. And the social norms say you should be. And talk about empowerment. She will feel like a second-class citizen in that marriage.
So earlier you talked about, that breaking the virginity or losing the virginity can come either by breeding or not breeding. And you talked about how the membrane can break without having the blood coming.
Yeah.
And that, caught my attention that there are some people who break their virginity even without having sex.
Yeah.
So how do you tell that? Is it just inside you who knows that you didn't have sex, that you have to prove yourself that I'm a virgin? Or this is a way medically can be proven. It can be proven when tested that.
Yeah.
I know it can be proven when tested that someone has not had intercourse, but I'm really trying to understand really how women suffer from this, even those who've not had it but consider to have had it because they've not had blood while having it for the first time.
Yeah.
How can you really find out if you are a man?
If you are medically trained, you can look at it and look for it. If you are medically trained, yes, but also you should, and if you are medically trained, you should, that that membrane doesn't have the same size for every girl and doesn't look the same for every girl. And
it has even a look.
Yeah, it's a membrane. You can see it. But as you were saying, people will tell you, like athletes, girls, may have it because of too much exercise, may have it broken slowly by slowly. And you may not see it if you look for it, but yet she hadn't had intercourse. And your question reminded me of back then when I was training for Obs and Gyne. I did 1 year in Belgium. We had a day per week where everyone had a smile because that day was, I think, from 7 in the morning, 7 to 9 was surgery for Moroccan girls. Because in their religion, you have to be a virgin to get married. None of them was. But before flying out to Morocco to get married, they would come to the hospital and get stitched so that the entrance is tighter. And the man would think,
that they're virgin.
Yes.
What?
This is a truth. This is what I saw with my eyes.
This is a fact that you experienced it.
Yes. I wasn't told, I was there.
So, that brings to me the next question. So
that was Belgium, that was Moroccan girls. I don't think it happens in Rwanda because I can already hear people's questions.
Yeah. I mean, someone can be stitched and looks to be virgin and can be...
Feel to be virgin.
Feel to be virgin.
Feel to be virgin.
But the person who is going to have intercourse with that lady will understand that this is not a natural virginity.
No, he will not. How? How would he feel? Understand?
So you close it and it feels like...
You tighten it. You don't close it.
You tighten it.
Yeah.
So that if they have intercourse, it's going to be free, like breaking the membrane.
Yeah. For example.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I think that's an innovation.
I mean, this
Because,
was like
you know,
20 years back, so it's not...
I mean,
I don't know what they're doing right now, but 20 years back, it was happening.
I mean, this is really deep. If we are to... If there are some people who are really suffering to get husbands just because they are not, I mean...
That's why
I think
said
I'm
I
sounding...
can already hear people calling me and say, what did you say?
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
So people can still regain their virginity artificially.
Artificially. Or give the impression they are virgin.
Give the impression that maybe their husbands need. What are some of other myths, things that people talk about virginity, especially in Rwanda, that still makes you say, wow, people still think like this?
Medically, it's just about that membrane. As some girls would say, why would you reduct us to a membrane? We are human beings. Somehow they are right, because your worth as a person should not be...
reducted to just...
are you a virgin or not?
Are you a virgin or not?
And what they did... The strongest myth I've heard is if you're a virgin and you have sex, you have to bleed and they have to see the blood on the bed sheets. It's rare to see that. The girl may see it in her underwear, but it's not
But it
like...
can't overflow,
No, it's not like menstruation, no. Because God is very smart. He didn't design it with veins that would break and you'd see a lot of blood. There are like in movies, all movies do exaggerate, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So when you see that kind of scene in a movie, you will see...
I want to experience this myself too when I get married.
You will see the mother-in-law, the boy's mother, coming to check the bed sheets, and you'll see like a stain, like a big one. But that's... I'm yet to hear of someone around this or someone I know who saw that kind of stain. No, it's not like that.
It's not like that.
It leaves with people a bit disappointed, not sure, was she a virgin, was she not? Because I didn't see much blood.
I mean, psychologically, you think it really bothers women and young girls in the communities?
It depends on how and where she's raised. If she's in a very tight environment,
where the exposure is rare?
Yeah, then that one is strong. But trust hormones. Hormones are very strong on our will, men or women. When they rush, someone will do what he was taught not to do and find a way of excusing himself or herself. But it happened. And she or he will try to find a reason to explain this happened because, so that she can survive it.
I mean, I have a friend of mine. I remember one day we were in Nairobi and we went to a club and this guy saw a very beautiful young woman. Very beautiful. I mean, she was a Kenyan, but really very beautiful. And she looked to be, she was a prostitute.
Okay.
It was clear that she was doing it. But you know what this guy said? He said, I wish I can pray to God to renew this girl into someone who has not had sex before.
So that
I would pay anything it takes to marry her.
You see, there you go.
I'll never forget that time. Because I was like, so someone can become something that is not desirable, however much someone would be willing to pay as much as required to acquire that thing.
Yeah.
Just because someone is considered to have had, enough sex.
Because we are formatted by our society. That's why I said from the beginning, it's too reductive to talk about sex like the physical act, the intercourse, the anatomical and physiological aspect of it. No, who are we as human beings? We are formatted by the society. Our beliefs, what make us who we are is how are you seen in the community? Are you someone I can talk to? Are you someone, because in my understanding, that moment, that friend of yours really desired anatomically that girl, and in his mind, he wanted to have a relationship with that person he see, the physical person he saw. He wanted that, but he's formatted such that that girl is not pure. And I guess if there would be a way, even if she's not pure, but I would not be stigmatized for going out with her, I would still try. That's also a possibility.
You would still try.
He would still try to befriend her if he knew having her as a girlfriend won't provoke like mayhem in his family. Who are you with? Or, depending on how he feels. So who are you physically, anatomically, physiologically, but also who are you in the society that made you who you are? Context.
So there's this belief, I've heard so many people talk about it, that someone who has once considered to have had so much sex, that is likely to actually have a good family than someone who has not had it, but tried the second person in the marriage.
I've heard of that too. Being men or women, but especially women, they would say she had played enough, now she's settled. Once again, all depends on who she is and what she wants.
So for you believe that this young lady in Kenya, if given opportunity, a chance, she might become the person you want, regardless of having had that.
What made her be a prostitute?
Who knows?
Exactly. Maybe she didn't have a choice. Maybe she doesn't like being a prostitute. Maybe given a chance, she would be a CEO of something, and she would be the greatest mother ever. It's possible.
So your belief is that having had it does not take away the fact that you can be what someone perhaps dreams or desires from you.
By the way, being a mother is something that has nothing to do, in my understanding, with how you behaved as a girl. Because mother to child is something really, really special.
100%, very true.
There are prostitutes in Kigali that are mothers. Do you think they are less mothers to their kids?
No,
they are not.
No. They actually do what they do because they need to feed that.
In some
most instances.
Yeah. And beside what they do, their relationship, their love, their care they give to their kids and their families, do you think they do less?
So, in the Rwandan context or in an African context, how do we break this misunderstanding of virginity?
Okay.
What would you want what would you want people to really know about it, so that at least it lessens on the burden that girls face?
I would start ask them to change the narrative and not talk about girls, but talk about girls and boys equally. Because you will hear in the Rwandan saying, they talk about isugi, but they will almost never talk about imanzi. Imanzi is a boy who
Who's
has
not
never
had it?
And they forget that the girl will have sex with a boy or with a man. And as much as you focus on one player, the imbalance will always be there. And when I talk to young girls, I don't know if I told you this earlier, but there are times I have informally young girls and I talk to them and we talk about this. And what they say is, our society is so hypocrite. Yes.
Talk about that.
That's a feedback from many, many young girls. Yeah.
That the society is really...
Oh, yes. And they will tell me, you aunties, you are so hypocrite.
Because you failed to advocate for us.
No, because, and they say in general, not only, okay, aunties are the person they talk to, but they say in general because, and this is what one of them told me, because you all do it, but no one talks about it. You do sex, you don't talk about sex. And all this misunderstanding and you talking to us, young girls, and don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, is because you are not free to talk about it. You come with your do's and don'ts. You don't want to dwell into it and explain and have it as a very regular, normal subject, right?
What is it that is stopping it actually? Because sex education, European countries and some other Western countries have really adopted it in schools, and it's now a topic that really people need to understand about. What do you think is really still lagging us behind? Is this still only culture, or?
It's not even culture, because back then, in the Rwandan culture, they used to talk about sex.
I mean...
Yes.
So the trend
we
is...
read about it. We don't have many books about it, but yes, like our grandmothers, somebody in the family at one point, I think when they turned 10, 12, they would have conversation around sex.
Around sex with their girls and boys.
Yeah, no, separate. A group of boys would go with their uncles, girls would go with their mother. No. Aunties. Especially the father's sister would be the one to talk to them about sex. So it was there. How did it stop? People will tell you it stopped with colonialism, with school, with religion. But it was there because I don't know how religious you are, but it's a shame to even name the private parts in Kinyarwanda.
Talk about...
To name
them.
To name them. It's shameful. You will name a nose, an ear, but you cannot name in public.
I mean, with your understanding, where does that trace from? When did it start that people really...
It started with... Okay, this is not a research I've done. I didn't read books about it, but it's me deducting from what I've heard, what I've read. It was a way of suppressing us, suppressing our culture. I've talked to a 70-something guy who's very much into the culture. He's a Burundian. And he was saying that when colonists came in, actually I think there is a quote about that, about some, I think, German guy who said to his masters that the people he found in Africa, they are so organized, so very well into what they do, how they run their communities. If you want to break them, you should break their culture. That's the only way they can colonize us. And
that's when religion came. That's when,
yeah. And they said the first thing to break was our religion, because we had religious way of doing things. We had equivalents of priests and pastors. We had equivalent of like bishops. There was a hierarchy. And this is the Burundian telling me. I think he has a book about it. And in the Burundian culture, I guess it's a bit similar to the Rwandan. In that hierarchy, there were people called Ibishegu. Ibishegu were like priests, and they had, above them, there were bishops and then God. I don't remember the name of the bishops in Kirundi. And when the priests, the Belgian priest came in, they had to break
that hierarchy.
The hierarchy. And after that, because they were free to talk about sexuality, they had that mandate to talk about sexuality and how people can have more kids and etc. So they had to break that. And I don't know if in Kinyarwanda they have the same meaning. When you talk about private part or sex or whatever, you are talking about, what you say is ibishegu.
Ibishegu, actually, that's
right?
what they call it, yes.
And it's shameful.
It's shameful, yes. It's like shameful.
Exactly. So they had to bring shame to that, not social class, but that's...
Oh.
Yes.
That category that was next to God.
Right.
It was what they made shameful.
Shameful.
And now it turned to be igishegu. Whoever
Yes.
speaks about something that is not cultural or not familiar
not
with
accepted,
not acceptable
is ibishegu.
Is ibishegu.
And in what,
wow.
yeah, because in their responsibility, that aspect was there. The aspect of how you grow, hormones, how you see that you are ready to have kids and all that. So
educating people about reproductive health.
People about sex. It was, the Bashegu were responsible of that. And I have to say, this was from the guy who told me about this is a dentist, Dr. Rugambarara Alphonse. People may know him. And
Rugambarara Alphonse.
Rugambarara Alphonse. He has, I think, 2 or 3 books about it. And yeah.
Wow. These guys were really serious on destroying our culture and making sure that they put us in where they want. Wow. To the level of just going up to the hierarchy of someone considered to be a priest.
Yeah.
To name his position as
shameful.
Shameful. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So, doctor, let's go to our next topic of
and then that's how we don't talk about it. That was your question, right? That's how we don't talk about it because that's how it became shameful from a culture where it was accepted from and expected from when you turn 10, 11, 12 to hear about that, to be educated about that. Yeah.
What would you tell a parent who is listening, watching us, who wants to upbring his or her, kids in a way that they are really, they can articulate their health, their sexually productive health, and be able to really navigate life in the right way without being misinformed?
I would say from those conversations I told you, when I have informal discussion with the young girls, I would bring 2 feedback from them. I understand the embarrassment. I totally understand because formatting, shameful. No one ever told you, even yourself, the parent, no one ever told you about that. You just discovered slowly by slowly, rambling around from friends. So I understand how hard it is. I understand the embarrassment. That's point number 1. Point number 2, the kids would expect you. They do expect, they would wish you would tell them. From one of the girls I was talking to, and I always share with mothers, because they were like 8 girls in my home, and we discussed. Of course, most of them I know the mothers, but there were others who friends talk to friends and then they send. So from one of the kids who knew me, I saw her like a baby up to now. She said, I wish this was my mother telling me this.
Oh my God. That was deep.
Yeah, because we were friends with her mother. That's why she was free to tell me. But
She was like, I would love to hear
I
this
would
from
love
your
to
mother.
hear from my mom. Why are you telling me? And she said,
And I know my mother knows that.
she said, I don't mind you telling me because you are like my mother, but I wish this was my mother telling me.
What were you telling her?
I was honest with her. I told her, I understand your mom. It's embarrassing.
I mean, what was the conversation that you were talking about?
I asked them, it was around sexuality. I asked them, because mothers would ask me, like, can't you talk to our daughters? And I say, but telling them what?
I mean, that's what I'm asking, actually. I mean, because reaching to an extent of sending 8 girls to your home to come and just check on, I mean, a friend to the mom, it's not just something that starts from just go to Auntie Aline and just talk to her. There's a background conversation with the parents.
No, there was not actually, and there was this embarrassment. And some of the girls, as I told you, I didn't know them. They didn't know me. They were like, okay, so what is happening here? And their mothers told them, you go talk to. She's a gynecologist. She will tell you things. And the girls were like, okay, so what is she going to tell us?
And actually, even reading about gynecology, they were like, are we pregnant? Or is there something that's related to that?
What is she?
Because
is my mom suspecting anything?
If someone hears about gynecologists, they think about pregnancy mostly.
Unfortunately. So, because I could see them getting in my sitting room and they were like, okay, hi, auntie. And so, wow, awkward. So I asked them to write. That was the first session, but the following sessions, I would
kindly dive us into that conversation. I beg you, because I mean, there were 8 girls.
Yeah.
But this can reach to 100 girls or 100 people.
Yeah,
100 or 50
that was
people.
one session, but I think I did that like 4 sessions where I would have 5 girls, 10 girls, whatever. And I would ask them I would give them postcards to write and pens. And I would tell them, I don't know your handwriting. And don't add your name, but ask whatever you feel you would want to ask around sexuality. But once again, they have never gotten any kind of opportunity to think, to talk, to discuss about sex. So it was not easy for them. But I told them, everyone has to ask at least one question. Okay, so they would look at their friends and then, okay, they would start writing.
And even hearing sexuality, they didn't know what questions.
What question should I ask?
Around sexuality.
It's a lot. Even if you are sure you will not tell the mother, you don't know the handwriting. It's not something, it's ibishego. It's something we don't talk about. It's shameful about it. But you were asking the questions.
What are some of the, out of the questions from the 8 girls, what are some of the questions that stood out for you that really you are even shocked, or you were ready to answer those questions and call them for the next session just because of those questions?
One of them is not because I was shocked, but it's because I heard it from when I was 12 myself. And the question was, is it true that when you have acne, you can get rid of it by doing sex?
Oh my God.
Oh yes, it's very common. I heard myself when I was 12.
She had to ask that.
Yeah, they did. I still have those postcards at home. They asked about that. Because they, yeah.
What was your medical answer?
No. The answer is no. Acne comes, because it's acne.
Mm.
It has, you understand where it comes from, but it's totally wrong. Let's start with that. It's totally wrong. You won't get rid of acne
By having sex.
by having sex. But you have noticed it comes when a girl or a boy is entering puberty. Puberty comes with increment of certain type of hormones.
100, yes, sure.
Yeah. And some of those hormones, depending on how your skin is, sensitive your skin is, you may have acne. It will disappear when there is balance. But sex will not take it out.
Sure. Wow. So you still have those sessions with young girls?
Not now. I've been out of the country for quite some time. And I was seeing girls who are around my daughter's age. But now mine are grown. So that means my friends have grown kids. And that time of where parents get nervous is around 15, 16, 18. That's where they would call me and ask me to talk to them.
But now, if you had an opportunity, you would have a camp where you talk to girls? I mean,
No,
why I'm asking this, because it's really, for me, I'm finding it as, I don't know. I think you were doing a great work because you're from a medical, background, and you're a mom, you're an adult, you've experienced the international life, and you've seen how other communities have really transformed or evolved. On that aspect.
Right.
What is it that is stopping you from having so many young girls educated about this? Because seriously, it's I don't understand.
I get
do
you.
you have a feeling that...
I get you. No. Let me answer. I will start with the third point I wanted to share about those sessions. I ended up telling the mothers, I think I should start with having a sessions with you,
Parents,
before talking to the kids. Because I have understood after those 4 sessions, kids will need, in one sitting, you can say as much, but that session can only trigger more questions. And they need to be in a safe space with a parent where they feel comfortable to bring up subsequent questions. And because I knew most of the people who sent me the girls, I asked them, do you talk to your kids? Say, hey, no, doctor, don't bring that. You say whatever you need to say, we cannot. And I told them, but I can't replace you. I can open the door, but you have to accompany your kids in that road. So I would be very happy to have that camp with girls, but I would like it more if I knew when she goes back home, she will...
Who takes on the conversation?
Takes over and say, Mom, she told us this and this and this. Dad, she told us this and this and this. And if they're, once again, I understand, it's embarrassing, but it's only the first session that you feel awkward. After that, when you have already discussed, it's easy. And I would understand if there are questions they cannot answer because they themselves do not have the answers. No one told them. And our kids now, they are very educated. They read, they talk to each other. There is a way of getting answers. And it's okay to not have answers and tell the kids, I'm going to read, I'm going to ask, and then I will get back to you. Yeah.
Wow, that's wonderful. We are going to have that camp 100%.
All right.
So I want us to talk about family planning.
Okay.
There's a gap between traditional family planning, frameworks and what young unmarried women actually need. How can we reimagine sexual and reproductive health service to be more inclusive and relevant to women at every stage of life, not just, these planning families.
Okay.
Those planning families.
Okay.
Because most girls tend to be told to do things they don't want. Recently you saw that the government of Rwanda approved a policy that allows young girls at the age of 15 to access contraceptives without
Consent. From parents.
without parental consent or guardian consent. And this really drew a lot of conversations around the country.
Up to now.
People were like,
What?
oh.
They are thinking.
And then some people were saying, no, the president was against it. How comes it came to pass?
Yeah.
And I was like, the president is the president, but the president leads the country with other people.
Absolutely.
So he also consults and gets,
Absolutely.
what can be really taken on. So, first of all, what is your take on that?
On the law that was
Passed? Just like 1 minute. What is your take on that? Do you think you are behind it or you are against it?
I support it 100%. And I know I'm controversial. Today is Tuesday.
Today is Tuesday.
Is Wednesday. This Saturday, was it Saturday or Sunday? I was discussing that very law with family members. And I was like, what? People were looking at me, why would you say that? And I was telling them, because they were cousins, my sister cousins, and I was telling them.
Give us those exact facts that you are giving them that really everyone can have.
I asked them, don't you know that in Rwanda, no, I first asked them, all of you have been 15, 16, whatever, 14. So you know about hormones. They are all very well educated.
Things happen to you.
You know what happened to you.
Yeah, you know.
So what happened to you is happening to your kids.
And you're just dodging it. Yet you have an opportunity now.
And what happened to you, and that is happening. So let's first be honest with ourselves that there are changes that do happen at a certain age, right? And it's about managing those changes. It's not about denying their existence. It's about managing them happening. Now, managing them, those changes mean that kid, boy, girl, would want to have sex. Can we agree on that one? They said yes. All right. He or she wants to have sex. It's natural, it's physiological, it's expected. That's how God created us, right? But you don't want her or him to have sex. Understandably, I agree with you. You don't want him or her to have sex. Now, what do you do about it? It's about managing that urge. You letting the kid do it or not, it's not about who's doing it right or wrong. It's about what you believe in or how you want to educate the kid. So this to say, I'm 100% backing that law, but also from a medical standpoint, my colleagues, clinicians, will tell you, and this is what I told my cousin sisters, you don't know how many kids in this town, because we're in Kigali, that do have abortions behind your back. No one in the family will know, but they do. And you don't know how many kids go to the pharmacy every now and then for the morning after pill. So you'll sit home very comfortable. Your girl is in the church choir, and she's like very well educated, but she had an abortion last month. You don't know. So is it about, remember the hypocrite society they were talking about? So, yeah, in 1 minute, I back that.
So it's like we are lying to ourselves that they are safe, but actually they are not at all.
They are not.
A lot is happening in their back.
I know of a friend, I know she will listen, who's going to kill me for saying this. Because she said, how can you back them up? I said, I'm just being realistic. I'm just, give me another way. I would happily go that way. But tell me, she travels a lot. And, with your travels, even for those living with their kids in Rwanda, she goes to school and comes back after 5. But from the moment she left your home to the moment she comes...
A lot can happen. A lot can happen.
Oh, yes.
And the pressure outside there with people who needs them.
One of us in that group is an MP, and she told them, you think it's a Kigali problem, but I've been in the upcountry. It's worse, actually. Upcountry is worse than what... At least the Kigali kids are... They know about condom. They know how to... I mean, they are more educated, so they know how to manage so that they don't get pregnant every now and then. But upcountry, they don't. But still, they do it.
But doctor, myself, I also believe that it was really a good policy, but there's one thing that still rings in my ears that
I get it.
The biggest challenge is how do we manage, how do we control extra exposure to...
Talk to your kids.
Extra exposure to these contraceptives, because yes, I agree, if something wrong has happened to you, if you've had it and you're sure you've had it and protected, then better go for the pill. But now, how do we prevent having it every now and then? Because it also has, impact.
Everything has consequences.
It has a very big one.
Very
because
much.
if you can have pills every week, like 6 pills in a week for 5 months, 6 months, I don't think you're the same as someone who has just had one in a month.
No, they take it every day.
21
days usually, and then stop for 7 days. They have their periods, and then they start all of, as long as they are active. They should, but contraception is not pills. Let's start with that.
It's not only pills, yes.
Let's start with that. You plan a family when you intend to have one. But for unmarried girls and boys, please, when you talk about contraception, it's 2 people. Once again, don't... ourselves, we are the stigma we're putting at, we are doing it here in the podcast. Stigma.
I see.
Right? She won't have sex on her own, so contraception is for both, right? So ideally, both of them should have that conversation.
What should we use?
What should we use? If we decide, both of us, to have sex, what should we use? Because there are sayings, stigma or myths, that when you use pills and you are still young, it will be hard for you to have babies.
Become pregnant.
To become pregnant when you intend to. I want to talk about that because people do, that's one of the things they do talk about a lot. It's because pills are hormones, right? Condom is not a hormone, spermicide is not a hormone, tubal ligation is not, but there are some methods that are hormonal. Pills, injection, implants that they put under the skin, and one type of DIU. Those are hormonal, and because they are hormonal, they put your ovaries to rest. So you usually have one egg that comes out of your ovaries every month, every 28 days roughly. But because you are on hormones, it will be
at rest.
At rest. And when you stop, depending on pills you took, and depending on your body, your anatomy or physiology, the ovaries may not immediately wake up. So they will tell you when you stop the hormones, they will tell you, contraceptive hormones, they will tell you, wait for 3 months. If you don't have your periods, then come back. And you intend to have kids. And after the 3 months, they will do ultrasound, check if your ovaries are waking up. They may ask you, depending on how urgent you want to have kids, they may ask you to wait again 3 months, for a total of 6. If they haven't woken up, then they can be woken up, right? And then you have your periods, and then you can have your kid. It happens, but it's rare. It happens that they don't wake up. It's very rare. I want people to understand this.
It's very rare that he can fail to wake up after 6 months.
Yeah. Now, one aspect that comes with that is the girl may be on pills and be comfortable that I cannot get pregnant. But in the process, she may get a sexually transmitted infection that may affect her fertility and fail to have kids, not because of the hormones she took, but because of the STI she got that affected her fertility. Yeah, it's a big conversation around that. But for a lay person, this is how it should be understood.
Something I just picked is the selfishness among boys or men.
Yeah.
That they just want the girl to be the one taking on the family
to carry
planning,
that burden.
To carry that burden. And they don't want to carry it as well because of, it's selfishness actually.
Because they will never get pregnant.
Because they will never get pregnant. There's
the stigma is always on the girl.
The stigma is always on the girl. And also looking at, why can't you use the condom then? Because it's more safer on both of you. Safer on the action you're going to do, and safer on the girl as well, because she will not be exposed to the too much hormones.
You said it, selfishness.
Selfishness. So, to people watching us out there, I just picked this. I think most men need to really rethink about it and maybe stop the selfishness about this. If you really love this person that you're going to have intercourse with, why can't you stop that selfishness? And because the doctor has really stressed it that too much hormones is not actually also good. So if you like the girl, you can as well help her by not taking too much of that.
Absolutely.
By also using the condom. I like that as well. I like that so much. So this traditional family planning, frameworks, how do we break it even from our parents? That, it's still happening that a few men are going for, is it vasectomy? Vasectomy?
Yes.
A few men are still going for vasectomy. And by the way, on that thing, I am on the side of men. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm being biased here now.
I get it.
Because seriously,
the human being is selfish.
Because now I'm really thinking of terminating it forever. By the way, teach me about that. Vasectomy can be also reverted.
Yeah, it can.
In men.
In men, the same as tubal ligation. It can be reverted. It's surgery, microsurgery. It can be done with microsurgery, and
it's not permanent. There's this myth outside there. I don't know whether it's a myth or it's a fact.
Yeah.
That when you go for vasectomy, it's a permanent operation.
This is what I can say.
Yes.
This is what I can say. It used to be permanent, the same as tubal ligation, because they would cut. It's like a pipe. They would cut and stitch. If they cut, there is no flow
of sperms.
They will have sperm.
They will have sperm.
They will have sperm, but the spermatozoid,
sure.
The cell will not be in the sperm.
In the sperm,
right? Should they? And please understand this. It's the same for the lady when they do tubal ligation. It's cut and stitch. The ovocyte, the egg, will be released but won't get in the uterus, won't meet the spermatozoid because the road has been
Blocked.
cut. Exactly. So it used to be permanent back then, but now they say with microsurgery, I'm not sure we have microsurgery in Rwanda. Should you change your mind, the two pipes could
Be re-linked. They can link them back.
They could put them together back. And they would tell gynecologists, when you do surgery, do it in such a way
That it's easy to link them back if someone changes his mind.
correct. That's one aspect. The second aspect, as the medicine evolves, should you want to have kids, there are methods, now this is in French, procreation, when couples are helped to have kids, you know, this Mediheal clinic we have where there is a way of poking in the man's testicles to get the cells, the spermatozoid, and in the lady's ovaries, and be put together to have a kid. Should you really
Change
want
your mind.
Correct. That's what is happening where they can do that.
But it's still expensive.
It's expensive,
how
and I'm not
many
sure
really-
it's happening in Rwanda.
Yeah, it's expensive and it's not happening in Rwanda. So
But
if we are to be fair with ourselves,
for the sake of education,
for
people
this,
should,
should go for that.
Yeah.
Should go for that. I agree, for the sake of education. But that's why I was saying that it all comes with selfishness, and
It does.
all comes with not, having a conversation on what really you want as a family.
Why are you even together in the first
Well,
place?
yes,
With
yes.
that person, that partner, what's the plan? Is it about having sex and that's it, or are you together and
So it should be a two-way traffic. People should really have...
Absolutely so.
Yeah, sure.
Two ways avenue.
Two-ways avenue. I like that. So the animal girl, you think they should be given, opportunity to choose what they want?
The girls, especially that they will be the one suffering consequences in a
Sure.
bigger way.
Okay, let's talk about consent, not just between partners, but a woman's consent with herself, her own body, and her desires. How do you counsel women who have been taught, to fear or suppress their sexuality to reconnect with bodily autonomy?
Once again, it starts where we started. You are a human being. You have hormones, but it's not just you. It's about who you are.
You should be left to deal with it.
Should you decide to being seen or accepted or acknowledged in the society with this kind of standard, how important is it for me in the society you live in? Because you don't live in Belgium, you don't live in the US, you live in Rwanda. And you intend to marry in Rwanda, you intend to work in Rwanda, you intend to be the bishop or a pastor or whatever in Rwanda. Don't think you are, maybe you studied in Belgium, in US, you came back with different way of seeing life. It's up to you. You can decide the Rwandan culture is backward. I will live as I see on internet or in movies. This is who I am. This is what I feel. I want to do this. All right. That's your decision. Every decision has consequences. If you are stigmatized, if you are labeled, if you are wrongly, or is it even wrongly? Because the label and stigma depend on the society you live in. If you are labeled and stigmatized, it's your decision. If you decide, okay, I would rather suppress what I feel, but I intend to become this and this, or to be seen and this, and even my kids, when they hear about who I was, I would like, formatting whoever we are and want to be. And you make a decision. You'll be frustrated because of that, or you can be frustrated because of labeling and stigma. It's your choice.
I mean, a lot is really happening.
It's hard on us.
It's really
Life
hard.
is hard on us.
I mean, what do you think really stops us to embrace sex education? What is it really that is stopping us? Because I think this is also a question that comes to your mind all the time.
Different from what we said about religion. Because even in more liberated cultures, you won't hear people talk about sex like casually. No. I lived in the US, I lived in wherever. You don't hear people talk about sex casually. Right? And except in some movies, and this is recent, when we were growing up, you wouldn't see people having sex on screen.
It's rampant nowadays.
Yeah, it is. People are getting crazy. Because I don't agree with that, and I don't know why. I don't know where it started. But it's done privately. It's something that is done privately, right?
But when you say it's done privately, it also brings in the chapter of not speaking about it publicly.
I agree. And some people would even tell me, not only privately, but we have to switch off the lights.
Because you're doing something wrong.
I don't know if it's wrong, but
it's something not godly or something. I mean, it's true. Actually, if there's one thing that is godly, is sex.
It's that, yeah. He made us in such a way
so that we can reproduce and feel the world.
Survival. It's an instinct. Sex is instinct. It's the same as eating.
Actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the same as, it's one of the 3 or 4 instincts we do have. It's done. No one may teach you, but you'll eventually do it.
100%.
You'll eventually, if 2 people who have never done it and decide to do it, will eventually do it. And yet no one taught them. So it comes instinctively. So it's godly.
It's godly.
It's godly.
It's godly. So when it comes to switching off lights, also makes it not godly. I mean, why do you switch on? I mean, why? I mean, let's leave that. I don't think it's.
I don't have an answer for that one.
But I want us to understand it. Like, when you say that, even in the culture, in other cultures where you come from, people don't talk about it publicly. Yeah, I think that's how, the world set it. That's how the society set it. But the reality and facts tell that you can as well talk about it. There's no problem.
You should, actually.